Hello students, welcome to the video lecture series of Artificial Intelligence. Today we are going to cover with the problem space and state space search. I am your instructor Mr. Bhumin Mandalia for this video lecture series. Today's outline, that means today we are going to cover up with the topic of introduction to this chapter. Second topic that we will cover, that is a chess game, and third one, that is a water jug problem. Now let us start first of all with the introduction for this chapter. So see, the name of chapter is problem space and search. So to build an artificial intelligence system, what should we study first of all? So the first thing that we will study, that is what is a problem. For example, let's say if we want to play a chess game, then that will be considered as a problem. For example, if we want to play a tic-tac-toe, then it will be considered as a problem. So to solve a particular problem in artificial intelligence, we should consider these four steps. First step is that define a problem precisely. That means whatever problem we are having, that must be defined first of all. That means how we are going to solve the problem, how we are going to take that problem. So that is define the problem precisely. Second is analyze the problem precisely. That means we are going to show the steps which are used to solve the problem, right? And third one, that is isolate and represent the task knowledge. Isolate and represent, that means whatever we are given, first of all we must have the intelligence regarding to that problem specification. That means if we want to play chess, then definitely we have to show the intelligence of our mind, because chess is an intelligent game. So we must show intelligence regarding to chess. So whatever rules the chess game is having, all those rules must be specified and must be isolated to understand how to play the game. So that is isolate and represent the task knowledge. And last is choose the best appropriate problem solving technique. Last is to solve the choose the best appropriate problem solving technique. Now this fourth is, that means for example, let's say we are having number of alternatives to solve a problem. Let's say tic-tac-toe is there, then for tic-tac-toe you can win in horizontal manner also, you can win in vertical manner also, you can win in cross manner also, okay, in diagonal manner also. So according to that we are having several alternatives to solve a problem. So from those alternatives we are going to select the best approach which will be suitable to us. Okay, so these four are the characteristics of problem and how we will be able to solve a particular problem. Now see, let us start with the first problem, that is a chess game. Means how we will be able to play the chess. So for chess, obviously there is one 8 by 8 matrix, right? And on 8 by 8 matrix we are having some of the elements. Okay, for example, here in this line pawns will be there, here in this line we will be having the horse, elephant, camel, all those things will be there in chess game. So in chess game, see, while specifying the problem, while defining the problem, first thing that we will have, that is an initial state. In initial state we will have one 8 cross 8 matrix on which all elements will be laid like this. Okay, all elements are available like this, that is my 8 cross 8 matrix. Now after this 8 cross 8 matrix we will have some operators or rules. Operators or rules, that means how one legal move will be specified. For example, we know that pawn can be moved in this direction only. We know that elephant can move in vertical or horizontal manner only. Okay, we know that horse can move in 2.5 steps only. So that is a rule, or we can say knowledge, that one must have to play the game well, right? So these are the rules, or we can say operators, which one must know to play the game properly. Now last is a goal state. A goal state, that means once one particular player will be able to win the game, that is called as my goal state. Goal state, that means the opponent will not have any legal move, and the particular one player will be able to win the game, and opponent's king is under attack and he will not be able to defend his king. That is known as my goal state. So final goal state for this chess is that one particular player will be able to win, right? So that is called as my goal state. So for problem solving, for defining a problem, that was our step number 1, we can have these 3 steps. The first step is to specify initial state, second step is to specify operator, or we can say rules, and third step, that means a goal state. Okay, now see, let us specify one move for a chess game. How we will be able to specify one move? See, because there are so many moves for one entire game of chess, so we will not be able to mention entire state space of chess. Okay, now see, what is the motto of today's lecture? For today's lecture, we are going to understand what is problem, what is problem space, or we can say state space, and search. That is our today's motto. Okay, understanding problem, problem space, and search. So let us understand one move of chess game. See, for one move of chess game, see, here we are having one chess board. In this chess board, definitely chess is one 8 by 8 matrix. Okay, here all elements are light. Okay, and here we can say all pawns are defined, all pawns are represented by P symbol. Okay, column is named and rows are also named. Okay, columns are named with ABCD and rows are named with 1 to 8. So this is just a specification of a chessboard. Now see, once one particular player will start with one move, how that move will be specified. So see, let us say the move is, for example, let's say I want to move a pawn which is on the rank 2. That means the pawn which is file of e comma 2, that pawn can be shifted with the 2 position. So let's say the move can be specified in this direction. Okay, that means the necessary condition is that pawn is at e comma 2 position, e is going to specify the column, 2 is going to specify the row. Okay, so from that e comma 2 position, I want to move my pawn, and that pawn should be available on the 2 positions away, right? So what can be the precondition? See, the precondition is that e comma, from that e comma 2 position, if I want to move that pawn, then e comma 3 should be empty and e comma 4 should also be empty. Then and only then we can move to the further direction. Okay, so move pawn from e comma 2 to e comma 4. Okay, so after moving, we will have the scenario like this. So that means my pawn has been shifted to this position. Okay, my pawn has been shifted from this position to this position. Okay, so e comma 2 pawn has been shifted here. So this is one particular move that I have shown regarding to chess game. So see, from this thing, what we want to learn, that what is problem space, and what is search. So see, this entire chess is called as my problem, because I want to play the chess. It is an intelligent game, so that is called as my problem. Okay, second thing that we are going to have, that is state space. Problem space, or we can say state space, that means from initial state, if I want to reach to the goal state, then what can be our steps? So that entire steps, that means covering up all these steps, is called as my state space. And last thing is search. That means to go from this position to this position, from this position to next position, from this position to next position. So until and unless we will reach to the goal state, from initial to goal state, that is called as my search. Okay, the representation is called as my state space, and the steps that we are carrying out is called as my search. Okay, so the definition of all these things we are going to cover up in the last section of today's lecture. So see, this thing is there, a chess game, that means one move of chess game. Now next problem that we are going to begin with, that is a water jug problem. A water jug problem, that means This type of problem you might have also seen in the newspaper of Saturday, because the newspaper of Saturday is regarding to children. Okay, so in that newspaper, or we can say in the supplement of that Saturday newspaper, we are going to cover up this water jug problem. This water jug problem can also be asked in terms of puzzle. Now see, in water jug problem we are given two jugs. Okay, one jug will be a 4-gallon jug and second jug will be a 3-gallon jug. So these 4-gallon and 3-gallon denotes the capacity of jug. Now see, now our question is that there is a pump which can be used to fill the jug. One jug is having the capacity of 4-gallon and other is having the capacity of 3-gallon. Now 4-gallon and 3-gallon jug can be filled up fully or it can be emptied fully. See, we are not having any measuring instrument for this filling up of the 4-gallon jug and 3-gallon jug. Now our question is that how we will be able to move, or how we will be able to have exactly 2-gallon water in this 4-gallon jug, that is X jug. 4-gallon jug is named with X and 3-gallon jug is named with a denotation Y. Okay, so what we want, that in X jug we want exactly 2-gallon water. We are not having any measurement instrument for this one. Either we can empty that jug fully or we can fill that jug fully. Okay, and whatever we want to do, that should be done in the manner of 4-gallon or 3-gallon only. Okay, we are not having measuring instrument so that we can pour some water from the jug, we can fill some water from the jug. We are not having any measurement instrument. Okay, we are not having any measurement equipment. So let us study how we will be able to solve this problem. See, let's say first of all our initial state is 0 comma 0, because X and Y both the jugs are having the water 0 and 0, that means 0 gallon and 0 gallon. Next is goal state, that is 2 comma Y, that means in X jug I want the water 2 and in Y jug I want the water Y, that means any amount of water can be there in Y jug. And our condition is that water can be poured out to the ground, that means water can be poured out, okay, on the ground. And second condition, we can pour water from one jug to another and there is no measurement equipment with us. That means we are not having any measurement equipment to have this water. That means we will not be able to specify that pour some water to the ground, pour some water to the jug. That will not be possible. Okay, so see, let us specify, we had specified initial state and goal state in previous slide and some conditions were also there. So in this table we have specified some of the rules or we can say operator. So these all rules will be used to solve this puzzle, or we can say to solve this problem. So see, the first rule, that is X comma Y, the first rule is, that is fill a 4-gallon jug fully. Okay, fill 4-gallon jug fully. Second rule, that means if X comma Y and if Y is less than 3, then fill 3-gallon jug fully. Okay, likewise empty 4-gallon jug, 3-gallon jug. See, all these rules are specified in such a way so that we are not having any measurement instrument. Okay, next number 5 is, that means pour the water from 4-gallon jug to 3-gallon jug until 4-gallon jug is full. That means let's say we are having 2-gallon water in this one, we are having 2-gallon water in Y jug, then that 2-gallon can be easily transferred to 4-gallon jug water. Likewise, we have specified all rules. See, these rules can change from problem to problem. These rule can vary from problem specification to the another problem specification. So how we will be able to solve this problem and how we will be able to transfer the water from 4-gallon jug to 2-gallon jug. So this is the table regarding to that. See, water in 4-gallon jug, first of all we are having 0 comma 0. If we apply rule number 2, then in rule number 2 we are having filled 3-gallon jug fully. So we have filled up 3-gallon jug fully, so next state will be 0 comma 3. If we will apply rule number 7, then rule number 7, that means to transfer from one jug to another jug, that means Y to X, so 3 comma 0. Next again rule number 2, that means fill 3 gallon jug fully, so next state will be 3, 3. Next rule number 6, that means we are going to transfer y jug to x jug until and unless it will be full. So 2 gallon water remains in y jug and 4 gallon water remains in x jug. Next we will be able to apply rule number 3, that means pour water from jug x onto the ground. Pour water from jug x onto the ground. So 0,2 remains, that means 0 gallon water remains in x jug and 2 gallon water remains in y jug. And last that we have applied, that is rule number 7. And in rule number 7, that is to transfer the water from y jug to x jug. That means y jug will be emptied now and that will be given to x. See, in all these steps we have not filled up the water without the metric of 4 and 3. Okay, either we have filled up the water fully, either we have emptied the water fully. Okay, for example here 0,2 is there because 2 gallon water remains in y jug, so we can transfer it easily. We will not be able to transfer 1 gallon water from this 2 gallon water. Okay, so because that is our precondition. Getting my point or not? Okay, so this is the solution of water jug problem. So see, this specification of initial state and goal state and my operator, or we can say precondition, is called as my defining the problem. This entire scenario to solve the problem is called as my state space. Okay, this is called as my state space, and to go one by one steps, to carry out one by one steps in this problem is called as my search. So are you getting this with problem space and search or not? Okay, so see, what is problem space and search? See, first of all, problem, that means the scenario which is given to you people is called as problem. Okay, second is the steps that we are going to perform to carry out each and everything and to reach to the goal state is called as my problem space. And last is the steps that we follow to reach from initial state to goal state is called as my search. Okay, so this is the concept of problem space and search. Okay, so that's it from today's lecture. Thank you everyone.